take 3. My gosh. Usually get all this done in one take. Hey, G.I. Joe fans. Joe Motion Videos 82 here. It is time for another G.I. Joe toy review and another viewer request. Today we are going to be looking at the 1987 Maggot and W.O.R.M.S. Yeah, I have worms today. And boy, am I bloated. Yeah, W.O.R.M.S. Interesting name, interesting toy. Could they have chosen a different? I think all the reviewers who reviewed this have taken all the jokes about worms and maggots, so I'm just going to spare you guys on this one, on those jokes. But this is a request, another viewer request that came from Cobra Island, a friend and fellow toy reviewer. Head on over to his channel, Cobra Island. He not only reviews G.I. Joe, but he reviews Transformers, because they are more than meets the eye. He does a pretty good job of it. So here you go, Mark. Thanks for this request. I don't know how many times I looked at this in one of my storage bins and said, I'll review this, but it was in several pieces, and I just did not feel like putting it together, mainly because the clips that hold on the main gun broke. That's a problem with this toy. The plastic does become frail, and that was sadly the casualty of this one. The clip that held the main gun on did snap off, and really no repairing that one. I would have to get the whole new chassis, or not chassis, but platform that it sits in order to fit the gun, and that's just a cost that it's just not worth it, really, for me. I want to keep this original. This is my toy from my childhood that I received for Christmas that year, 1987. Was I thrilled to get this. I received this along with several other Joes, and it was a great time for me, man. I just loved this thing. My friends and I had a wonderful time with it. It's 3 vehicles in one. What more could you ask for? I just wish that I had 2 more worms to operate this. To crew this, it would have been great. But Black Major fortunately does make a lot of worms, so that would be my crew. So that's a good idea. I think I might purchase some from you, Black Major. Some more. The ones that I had that I turned around and sold them to thin out my collection without remembering, hey, idiot, keep a couple of these for yourself, for your Maggot. So anyway, all that aside, there's a lot to be said about this vehicle. Also want to make mention, you see, hey, there's more light. There was a viewer that made a request that I add more light to and better sound to these videos. What he said made sense with the sound and lighting. I like the idea, but the dim ambience kind of, it went along with my theme of this being a toy dungeon, but at the same time, You guys need to see me. With all the different ways people view this, you know, either on TV, on your phone, whatever. The lighting is important. He said I came up dim. It was hard to see. So thank you very much for that suggestion. And I will start using my studio lights again. So I will endure the heat that these things put out. So anyway, I won't blab anymore. There's a lot that goes that's with this vehicle. It is the star of the show. Gosh, seeing this brings back so many memories. Remember playing with it on Christmas Day, and oh my gosh, great memories. But anyway, here we go. The Cobra 1987 Cobra Maggot and Worms. Cool vehicle, guys. Love the Worms. He is a great action figure. Right, here he is, Cobra Maggot and Worms. As you can see, I added a new backdrop. I managed to find these again. Remember from years ago, I used these nice little decorative backdrops. I forgot how well it made these pop. I had lost them. So once was lost, now is found. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at Worms. Yes, mine has the antenna. This little bugger right here is very hard to find on the aftermarket. It's often missing, and will cost you a fortune for the original antenna. The helmet itself looks like the helmet that belonged that the Rocketeer wore. And if you look really close, you'll see a hairline fracture that goes down the helmet, because this was made out of a hard plastic. And if I could take it off, yes, without breaking it, it is starting to crack. What had happened was during moving, he was sitting on the top of the top pile of the tote that all the toys were in, and it cracked. The weight of it cracked it. But anyway, we won't get into that. Here you could see the Cobra emblem on the top of his helmet. This is starting to wear off a little bit. They have big black eyes, eye holes on the front, and speaker or voice modulator. The infamous antenna. I did not know that removed until just recently, when I started seeing these pop up on the aftermarket as huge dollar signs. It is hollow, or not hollow. Of course it's hollow because his head has to fit in it. But as I had said, it's made out of this hard plastic. Let me use a, so you could hear it. It is a hard plastic. So these do become frail over time, and that just killed me that thing got fractured. And Maggot himself, or Worms himself, dressed up in a very nice uniform. It kind of reminds me of a general. It's a dress uniform of all things. Very interesting colors. he's brown, like a worm, broken up with this kind of a mustard yellow with on his gloves and knee pads, and he's wearing a mustard color jabot. He has shoulder epaulets. I don't know if that's denoting rank or not on there. He is sporting several medals. You could see those. So he is a well-decorated Cobra trooper. And right here on his belt, a skull and crossbones. I never noticed that. Did not pay much attention to my toy. Sorry about that. Worms. First time I really noticed that. You learn as you go. He is wearing a bandolier that goes over his shoulder and holds onto his belt. It's just a standard black belt that wraps around, and it does hold up his holster, and he is wearing a holster on his left hip or left thigh with a sculpted on pistol. They always do a very good job detailing vehicle drivers. You're putting out some money, so they're going to give you a good action figure. So he is wearing these knee-high boots. Of course, you have your mustard yellow knee pads. He is wearing a stiletto down on his boot, his left boot. So everything on the left side. So this dude just might be left-handed. Silver splashed on there. He does have brown buckles going across the top of his boot, not to mention his Cobra balaclava, which is standard for all Cobra troopers, and very nice. Appears to be buckskin gauntlet style gloves. You can see they are padded across the knuckles. Cool action figure. Let's just snap that right back on his head. I seldom took his helmet off as a kid. I guess that is why I still have the helmet and antenna. And I didn't, like I said before, I didn't know the antenna removed. Otherwise, it may have been lost by one of my brother's friends. So we'll go ahead and set him off to the side. As aforementioned, this does come in 3 parts. So let's take off the rear section and we'll look at that here in a few minutes. This is the driving force of the vehicle. This is a tracked vehicle of cruise 1 person. So we'll go ahead and stick the driver right down on the inside. He does sit in there pretty low, so he is protected somewhat. You can see that there is a gun here on the front that does swivel from side to side. He has a gun here, a huge laser here on the front. It rotates 360 degrees. And it does go up and down. These can become loose over time, so it's something to watch out for. The radar dish on this, it's radar guided, is made up of that soft plastic. I could get a better picture of the radar dish. Let's see if I could zoom in on that. No, it won't let me. But the radar dish, let's get it right in the picture here. This is made up of that soft plastic like the gun on the Vamp. Mine broke off. I don't know if any of you guys have run into that problem. Let me know down in the comments if you had. So I had to glue mine back on. So this also came with many decals. It came with this weird looking number 5, some Cobra, some weird Cobra alphabet writing here on the side. More Cobra emblems. You could tell it was me that put the stickers on because they're crooked as heck. Here on the front, big number 5 again, and the Cobra emblem on the other side. And this thing does need cleaned up, but I wanted it to look nice and sweaty for you guys. Here on the back has it. Oh, I'm not going to force that. A removable engine panel that shows the engine for all the motorheads there in Hasbro. This looks like it got mashed in there in place and stuck. The command seat fits a single person. You could see down all the way on the inside. They did not mess around with detail. You see all the way in there. There is a diamond graded floorboard, and there are dials and switches on the right hand side, and here on the left there's some more detail for him to operate and control this. And again, with it being a tracked vehicle, you do have your tracks. There is a left and right track to this. So if you're looking for it on the aftermarket, pay close attention to that. It does not roll on any dumbbell wheels. So actually it did. That was my mistake. My wheels are missing. It did have 2 dumbbell wheels. Now I remember that. Two gray dumbbell wheels that came along with it. Here on the back is the articulation point. Let me see if I can get that in focus. 2 more stickers, by the way. This is an actuator of sorts where you can hook the remaining pieces of the vehicle onto it. It does slip around side to side, so when you turn the vehicle, or turn the main part, the driving part of the vehicle, and turn it, this helps the rest of the vehicle follow the command track. So let's get this out of the way. Now, looking at the meat of the toy, this itself could be a vehicle, and I oftentimes used it as its own vehicle. It looks like a huge tank. The main gun sat right here in the front. We'll just prop it up in there. And this itself was a tank for me. It too moves around on dumbbell wheels, and it does separate into another vehicle. I used to pretend that this had a a jet on the bottom of it. that would shoot it off and up in the air, so this could land and deploy. So let's take the bottom part out and look at the gun platform. So here's piece number 2. This is the gun platform. These legs do come up missing as well on the aftermarket. Easy to find, very inexpensive, but this does display very well with by itself. You can see that there's a Cobra logo here, number 5 there. Here on the front, same stuff. Right here, if I could swing that around for you to see, looks like there's a door or a window right here that opens up for the people, the Joes, or the Cobra, excuse me, the Cobras that sit on the inside. So they could just pop that open and take a look. Flipping it around, it is the same. The legs do fold up, and that's how you get it to go back onto the third part of the vehicle. But looking at the inside here, it does have a command seat for another action figure. Right here, the main controller for the gun, the gunner, I should say, sits there. And there is another Cobra figure that could sit, or another seat for a Cobra figure who can sit and play video games on this computer monitor. There's a monitor, oh goodness, right here for it's a targeting computer, I guess, and there are a lot of switches and command panels. I apologize for the pauses in my speech. I have a migraine setting in. Please forgive me for that. Air tanks right in here. I'm assuming that it helps with the propulsion to move this huge gun, which is made of a silver or a dark gray plastic, and it does snap together. Mine did not close all the way. That might be a common flaw with a lot of people, with a lot of people's guns, and it is held together with the nose cone or the cannon's barrel. This part sometimes comes up missing as well, so that's something to watch out for. Right here, let me flip it over, are the clips that hold the main cannon on. As you could hear, this is a hard plastic. The clip right here broke off that holds the gun on, and the gun just mounts right onto there, and the indentation here fit right into the groove there, and it would hold the gun into place. But this sat in my parents' garage for 20 some years in this sweltering Arizona heat, so that really helped with the fragility of the plastic. So that was not a easy thing for me to see when I snapped the gun off. It broke my heart. A few words came out of my mouth that I'm sure YouTube would love to censor if I mentioned them. And here is the final piece of the vehicle of the Maggot. Again, it's a tracked. You can see the tracks on there. There is a left and right for this one as well. Dumbbell wheels for the bottom. And it has the articulation to where it hooks right onto the main part of the, it's supposed to anyway, hooks onto the command vehicle. But you could see my hooks are broken on there. There is no longer one right here. It's supposed to look like that. But they do hook together and form a very cool and massive looking vehicle. Another Cobra emblem there on the, I guess, front of the vehicle. That weird number 5 again, and more weird Cobra writing. A lot of mechanical detail on the top of the vehicle. This one, you could fit 3 Cobras in it. There are 3 foot pegs. You have your diamond pattern grating in there, and you have a lot of control panels, monitors, and whatnot that go in there. I even used this as its own vehicle. The driver would he would stand right here and use the joysticks and drive this wherever it needed to go. Whatever your imagination did, it worked. I had a decal fall off. So there we have it, the Cobra, Worms, and Maggot. Like I said, I wanted to keep this one sweaty looking, because it is a worm and maggot. Didn't want to dust it off. Wanted it to look grungy, battle worn, and just dirty, simply because of the name. This thing, the pylons are loose, but putting it back together, you have this tank / battle platform / mega gun. What more could you ask for? This retailed for around $7.95. Not bad for 3 vehicles in one plus driver. 1987. It was on the pegs until 1989. Alright guys, once again I do apologize for stumbling through that review. Like I said, I have a migraine coming in. I've taken meds for it, but let's pull this out for the closing words, the outro, or whatever everybody calls it. This is such a beautiful vehicle. It brought hours and hours of fun for me. I remember the day I opened it. For some reason, I would take everything back to my parents' room on Christmas Day and put it together. I never put it together in the living room for some reason. Always went back to my parents' room because it's quieter back there, I guess. and that's where I assembled this thing. And I would play back there in their room. I wouldn't play in my room. I remember my dad came back to take a nap. My dad has since passed, so this is kind of a fond memory of my father. So I started picking up my toys, and he said, "No, Byron, just go right ahead and play." And he looked over and saw me with this, and he chuckled, and he said, "You really like that, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, I do." He said, "Oh, I'm glad I picked that out for you, so I thought you would." He said, "I thought you would like it." So this great toy, there was never another one made for it, for the any future releases. There is only one version of the worms. Thanks to Black Major, we have several versions, so thank you for that, Black Major. I would have liked to have seen him in a modern version. See what they could have done with him, but the colors on this guy, not very popular with a lot of people. I personally don't care. These are good colors. It fits with the persona. Worms are brown or a dark red, at least here in North America. The mustard yellow breaks up the pattern on the worm, as well as some of his accoutrements. Very nice figure. This looks like he's dressed like he's ready to go through a parade. This guy got a lot of play time. Very well dressed. The vehicle itself got a lot of play time, and I absolutely enjoy owning this thing. I would display it, but it takes up so much room, and that's why it ended up in a bin, in several pieces. Who took it apart, all the pieces off of it, is beyond me. I never do that when I just store a vehicle. I never completely disassemble it. I take off the parts that will fall off, put those in a bag, and store it that way. So anyway, I'm glad I got to finally do this review for you, Mark. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry once again for stumbling through this. I hope this headache will break soon. You guys, you take care out there. Let me know what you think about this vehicle. Did you have it as a child? Do you have it now? Please share your comments with me. I love hearing from you guys. That is the funnest part of this show, is reading your comments. I do answer back. It's not always immediate, but I do answer back. That's very important to me. If you write to me, you deserve an answer. What else was I going to add? Yeah, you guys. Excuse me. Tickle in my throat. If you have another suggestion for a toy review, let me know. If I have it, I will be more than happy to review it for you. I do answer those requests, obviously, and so let's go ahead and bring the show to a close. As I talk too much, I guess. So, you guys take care of yourselves. you deserve it. You really do. You can't take care of yourself. You can't take care of other people. So you deserve to be treated well. So be good to yourselves and be kind to other people. You never know what type of day somebody's having. An ounce of kindness does go a very, very long way. Just a brief story why I say that. My divorce was still very fresh, and I was extremely depressed. My car was broken down, so that just made matters worse. And I was walking to the grocery store, and I was just absolutely feeling miserable. And a woman, an older lady, just looked up at me, looked up at me because I'm tall. I'm 6'6". She looked up at me and smiled and said, "Good morning." And that just lifted my spirits. It changed my entire day. I was no longer sad, no longer depressed. I had a pep in my step. I felt great simply because a stranger smiled and said, "Good morning." So that's why I say show a little bit of kindness to somebody. It does help people. Smiles are contagious. And be kind to your animals. Please be kind to your animals. They know nothing but unconditional love, and they too can bring joy into your lives. So this is Joe Motion Videos 82, Mr. Verbose, signing off for today. Stay safe out there. Stay hydrated. It is bloody hot out there all around the United States. So hydration numero uno. Drink at least 5 bottles of water to stay 40 ounces of water to stay hydrated, but more if you are sweating a lot. So anyway, you guys, you take care of yourselves. I want to see you around for many years to come. Remember when my beard used to be black? So yes, I want to see you guys around for many, many years to come. So you guys take care. We'll see you next week for another G.I. Joe toy review, and I will get more of this lighting and stuff figured out. The dungeon is cramped. So we'll see ya.